We're here with one of our favorite lawyers, Professor John Yoo, former Deputy Assistant Attorney General of the United States. He's UC Berkeley Law Professor. John Yoo, you worked at the Justice Department. I was Chief of Staff of the Justice Department. Isn't it interesting to you that the Federal Justice Department didn't intervene in this case and claim, wait a minute, these guys, these local guys have no authority whatsoever, especially given the fact that the Southern District of New York looked at this case and took a pass? Isn't it also interesting to you that most of the arguments we're hearing have absolutely nothing to do with jurisdiction? They get caught in the weeds about, interlocutory appeals and the New York system. Well, that's all very, very interesting. But it seems to me a straightforward jurisdictional supremacy clause matter here should have sufficed. What do you think?
Mark, I'm sure America wishes you were back as Chief of Staff at the Justice Department, because this would never have happened. I think a lot of the commentary about President Trump's sentencing, as you suggested, will be about the tactics of lawfare. Unfortunately, they're missing, I think, the bigger constitutional picture which you laid out. And this is a bigger long-term threat to our constitutional system of government that goes beyond Donald Trump, although he is the symbol of it. One, you have a state here attacking someone who is the president-elect. A state attacking, as you said, the supremacy clause is supposed to stop states from interfering with the valid operations of the federal government. It's almost as if Lincoln, after he was elected, trying to get to Washington, D.C., and Maryland decided to arrest him on his way to the Capitol. That, of course, would never be permitted. So one, you've got a state trying to interfere with the federal operation of the presidency. Second, you've got a state trying to take over the federal government's authority to enforce the election laws. As you said, the Southern District of New York Justice Department, the Federal Election Commission, they all looked at this, the issue in this case, and they decided not to bring any prosecution. The Biden Justice Department should have been out there saying, this is our job. This is the job of the federal government to enforce federal law. No state can then come in and say, we're going to hijack federal law and enforce it because we think it means something else. And then the third point, and I think this is the most important we talked about on your show before, Mark, think about the future. How are future presidents, future candidates for president going to think about their job, knowing that there might be a Juan Merchan out there, an Alvin Bragg out there, who are going to twist state laws to try to attack them both before they're in office and then, as they've been saying openly, once Donald Trump leaves office? Because Bragg and Merchan also talked about the possibility of suspending this and imposing the sentence on Donald Trump after he leaves the presidency. So I'm very disappointed, I think as you are, in the U.S. Supreme Court.